Journaling for anxiety is like giving your brain a quiet room to breathe. It turns scattered worry into something you can actually work with. When you write things down, your thoughts slow down. You get space. And suddenly the problem isn't this invisible pressure sitting on your chest. It becomes something on paper that you can look at and respond to. That small shift is powerful. Because anxiety loves chaos, and journaling creates order. When you take anxious thoughts out of your head and put them into words, you're basically pulling the plug on that runaway mental loop. The brain can't hold everything at once, so writing is like clearing out storage space. It reduces mental clutter. It also transforms vague stress into something specific, which makes fear easier to understand and easier to handle. This is where labeling comes in. When you name a fear, when you actually write it down, you shrink its power. Instead of "I'm overwhelmed," you write, "I am anxious about tomorrow's meeting because I don't know how my idea will be received." Now it's no longer fog, it's clear. And clarity is the opposite of anxiety, but journaling isn't just unloading stress, it's also retraining your thinking. When you challenge negative thoughts on paper, you begin replacing fear with evidence. You swap assumptions with facts, and the brain starts learning a new default. So instead of believing the worst instantly, you start questioning it. You start building confidence, one written sentence at a time. Gratitude entries help with that shift too. They gently force the mind to look for the good. Even if it's small. Even if it feels tiny compared to the stress. You write down one positive moment, then another, then another. Over time, your brain gets better at noticing what's working, instead of only scanning for danger. That single habit alone lowers tension more than most people realize. Then there's intention setting, a tiny but powerful part of anxiety journaling. When you decide ahead of time how you want to show up, even something simple like "I will breathe slowly when I feel tension today," your brain gets an anchor. A direction. A cue to focus on. Intentions create a feeling of control, and control is something anxiety tries to take from you. With journaling, you take it back. Looking back at old entries becomes part of the healing too. You get proof, in your own handwriting, that you've survived stressful days before, that you've handled things you once feared, that anxiety comes and goes, and that progress is happening even when you can't see it in the moment. That kind of reflection builds resilience. It builds trust in yourself. If starting feels hard, prompts can help. Simple questions, simple sentences to begin the flow. You don't need eloquence. You don't need structure. You just need honesty. Because this isn't about writing something beautiful, it's about finding clarity. Anxiety loosens as soon as thoughts become words. And that's why journaling works. Not because it magically removes stress, but because it turns confusion into something you can understand. Something you can respond to. Something you can change. The more you write, the lighter your mind feels, one page at a time.